Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Always Closing podcast. Today I have a very special guest, Robert Cedeno with EXP Realty. So welcome and thanks for doing this today.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me, man. I'm ready to rock it out.
So tell us a little bit about yourself for people who may not know you, a little bit about your background, and how did you get into the real estate business?
Yeah, man, so I've been doing real estate for 5 years now. It's been a blessing, 100%, man. I jumped in, I want to say in 2017. Okay. Started off super slow. Didn't close anything for like 8 months, and then I ended up getting Rookie of the Year the next year. So,
nice.
Yeah, so it was nice. I started off with Remax Top Producer. It was great there, and then.
Oh really? I work with quite a bit of them. Which office?
Diamond Bar.
Yeah, our escrow office is in Diamond Bar.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so we work with a lot of people over there, like Carlos. I don't know if you know Carlos Asensio.
Yeah, Asensio, yeah.
Yeah, he's like been our client forever, you know. So he did an episode with us.
Well, he's the one that actually gave me your phone number.
No way.
Yeah, so that's how I met you. Okay. Now that I think back, I'm like, bro, I need someone really good, man.
Yeah.
And he referred you, so.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Carlos is, I worked with him forever. I mean, I bought my own house. He helped me. So,
really?
Yeah, so we worked with him forever.
Yeah, I love that guy, man. He's an open book, and I'm not with him anymore. I'm with EXP now, but yeah, it was great. So started off there, started building out a team. Now there's 9 of us on the team.
Okay, wow.
So just getting them going right now. There's a lot of new agents and learning how to be a better leader and all that right now. So our focus is social media. That's what we do. That's where we get about like 90% of our leads,
really?
Our closings come from Instagram, really.
Okay.
And then we're just building out the other platforms right now, man. So
yeah.
Besides that, I'm a dad, a husband, and just living it up, man.
That's awesome, man. That's good. That's good. Let's go right into your social media since you brought it up.
Okay.
So, I mean, you have a huge following on social media, especially for a realtor. I mean, you don't see realtors that usually have 20, 30,000 followers, but you do. So, how did you accomplish that, get your page to that point, and how has it benefited your business?
Yeah, man. So, like I said earlier, majority of our business does come from social media, or mostly Instagram. We are starting to kind of go into TikTok a little bit, but when I first got into real estate, man, I had decided I was going to go all in on social. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. From the beginning.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of work, and I was really bad for a long time.
Right.
And I'd sit there and I'm like doing my social media stuff, and everyone's looking at me like, what are you doing, bro? You're wasting your time.
Yeah.
I'm like sending out messages, birthday messages, everything on social. And they're like, you should be cold calling, you should be door knocking. And I door knocked, I cold called, I did all of that.
Right.
But I really wanted to focus on social media. So when the pandemic came, I was like, how can I get better? I started learning, but I always did stuff. I did video, and I was really bad at it. And I just kept hearing, keep doing it. So I was consistent. So I was doing these home tours where I would just get my gimbal, and I would just go right through a house as fast as I could, and I would post it on my story, right? So, they would chop it up for you, 15 seconds.
Right.
So I would do a whole minute as fast as I can. And then I would do a couple of edits with it. And then Reels came out.
Right.
And then so I was like, bro, I've been doing this for a long time. I think I seen somebody from like Texas doing it, and nobody was doing it at the time. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna go record some houses, and that's what I did. Just got my phone, got the gimbal, and I said, let's go. And I did a couple of edits on Adobe. Now I do everything on my phone, but I was just like, boom. And so I it ended up exploding, man. I couldn't even keep up where I had to stop posting.
Really?
But yeah, man, I went
from... You're just getting too many messages, stuff like that?
Yeah, and I couldn't handle it. It was just too many leads coming in, too many messages, comments. Right. It was crazy. And then so I went from, last year I had 2,000 followers last year, and was slowly growing, and yesterday I just hit 33,000 followers, and it's all been organic, no paid followers, no paid likes.
Do you run any ads at all?
Zero ads.
So it's 100% organic.
100% organic.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, man, and just by posting, that's it. I mean, it's not that easy, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny because some of the stuff you're talking about is like literally the questions I had for you. So like, I see that you do a lot of those videos where you just walk through the house, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple people do it, but so you're one of the first people that started doing those type of videos.
Yeah, I like to think I was one of the first ones. And, and then people are, they see what we do, and they're doing the same thing. They're going to be doing it. So now we got to get better, right? So now we got to get better at our craft, and which is taking over the digital side of real estate, and I really do believe we're going to do that. So we do like a text code, right? And then now I'm going on other people's pages and kind of checking it out. Now guess what? They have a text code and stuff like that. So, yeah. So we've been pioneering, kind of, and we don't get like the guys in like Texas. Their following is insane, man.
Really?
But because the houses are so huge and pretty, and I mean, we got houses, they're nice, but here in Whittier, 700 square feet, you know what I mean? I know you've done some photos for us, and they're tiny. They're small houses compared to a 4,000 square foot home in Texas. So I think for where we're at, we've been doing pretty good.
So what's the strategy behind those actual videos? Is it solely like for content purposes, just to continue to get views and engagement, or are you actually like hoping to sell that house to someone? Like, have you got buyers from those videos? Or like, oh, I like that house, like, help me get it?
I think it's rare that we get one for that actual house, but it's more of the interest, right? So we want people to text in, get the information, to DM us, to click on our link. It's really to drive traffic into our CRM, really. And then once we do that, now we got to provide the value, but it's just an easier conversation, man. So, we know a lot of realtors, they do Realtor, they do Zillow leads, they do all of that, right? They pay for the leads, Google ads, Facebook ads. We don't pay for them. And they're coming in, and then now we talk to them, and they're like, hey, you guys are the ones that do those videos? You guys do those walkthroughs? I'll talk to people, man. I'm like, hey, this is Robert with Cedeno Realty, whatever, right? I go into it, and they're like, who? And they're like, wait, I recognize your voice, right? And so it's like, they feel like they know us, and there's some type of trust there already. Not all of them, but for the most part, like when we're having the conversation, they're like,
they kind of know you a little bit already.
So
that's awesome. Cool. And you do these videos yourself, right? You're not like hiring a crew to do it, or a big production company to shoot them. No. So what equipment do you have to make these videos? I see you have a drone too, right? Yeah, so we just got a drone. That's been about a month and a half, maybe, if that. But again, we're trying to up our game compared to what everybody else is doing. So really, it's my iPhone. I have an iPhone 12 Pro or Max or whatever. The gimbal, and then I invested in some mics, the Rode mics, which are really good. Is that the clip-on ones?
Yeah, the clip-on ones, and I also have like the lavalier and everything. But
I like those clip-on ones.
Yeah, and they're super, like, everyone's like it's not like, it's something you can just do, right? And it's acceptable. Like you can see the block there, but who cares? Nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, you see people now, like, you could even see, the whole system right here on their pocket, and the wire coming. Like, nobody cares or whatever. You just need to hear them.
it's all about the value you're providing. So if you know what you're talking about, and you're not focused on just me, you're focused on the consumer, you're gonna get results. So yeah, the equipment's super easy, man. Invested a couple of $100 for the gimbal. Same thing with the mics. They're like $300 and something. It came out to like $360 with the wire. Got the drone, less than like about $900 or something. And then I also have a GoPro where I do longer form stuff, and I got the mic mod and stuff like that. So that's more, something else I'm doing. But to get started, man, all you need is your phone, and the will to want to get business through social media, man.
And what do you do to keep up with like the trends with social media, right? Like you said, like sometimes Reels comes out, or maybe YouTube Shorts, or how often are you kind of like doing research and like, this is the next thing, now we got to adapt and do this now? Yeah, so I'm always learning, man. So I'm always listening to podcasts, just like this one, right? So podcasts, what's his name? Tom Ferry. Watching videos. I'm watching what other realtors are doing, right? I can just rip what they're doing, not because I want to be like them, but I'm gonna, like, we can only say so much about real estate or do so much. It's like, hey, I'm gonna say it like they're saying it, but I'm gonna do it my own way. And that's how you learn, right? You see, hey man, this person, they're killing it. And that's what people do with us, and that's what we do with other people. So staying humble is huge, right? I don't know it all. So I got to be in there learning, trying to see what's the next thing, right? Trying to figure out what that algorithm is like looking for, right?
And it's always changing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I kind of missed the boat with TikTok a little bit, I feel like, but now
I'm here. I haven't really jumped on that boat yet, but it's something that's like, I'm gonna have to do it. And I feel like I've done that with like everything, I feel like even like back in the Facebook days, not that it doesn't exist anymore, but I even took a long time to go from Facebook to Instagram, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I was still behind like the wave, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm the same way with TikTok, but yeah, I'm gonna have to start that up soon too.
Yeah, well, I caught Instagram a little bit early when it came to Reels, so I was actually getting paid to create videos from Instagram.
Nice.
I think like my best month, it was like $860 or something, man.
Wow, nice.
Like, I'm gonna do these videos anyways.
Right.
Like, so that's like passive income. Now it's a lot less because I mean, so many more people are doing it.
Yeah, one of my pages, I'm doing the same thing, but I don't get nearly as much. I think the highest has been like $140.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, it's something.
I'm gonna do the videos anyways. Might as well get paid for it.
Right.
So, no, it's been really good, man, and just staying up with what everyone's doing and always learning.
Yeah.
And then also not being scared to keep on posting, to actually learn, test different things out. I'm good with posting something that's complete trash and learning from it.
Yeah.
And most people aren't.
That's true. I mean, a lot of people say just like you just got to get stuff out. You can't think of the little things, like we said, like the wires or whatever, right? It's just those things are not going to matter in the end. It's just like pump content out. I mean, good quality content, of course, but just get it out there. You know, don't care so much about the little things.
Well, with like the quantity is going to come quality, right? The way I mean, what I always think is quantity then quality, right? Yeah. Because my quantity is going to beat somebody else's quality every single time because they're going to see my stuff a lot more. Right. If you're an agent and you're posting once, you know, a week or maybe even 3 times a week, and you have this great quality, that's okay. Yeah. But I'm posting 3-4 times a day. Right. Who's going to win?
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
And then you mentioned earlier about just providing value. Like, so how important is that when you're making content? To provide that value where people want to continue to come back and follow your page or watch your videos?
Yeah, I think value is everything. Yeah. I mean, I think it's huge, man. A lot of people have been stuck on look at me type of content. Right. Let me get out of my fancy car. Let me fix my jacket. Let me flex real quick. Right. See my watch. Yeah. People are tired of that. Right. I mean, at least I think so. Mm-hmm. People want to say, hey, I need to do something. How can I do it? And what's the best way I can do it? So now with that, providing value, you're going to be the person they go to once they're ready to make that move. Right. Right. So I don't make it about me. I think about, hey, what does the consumer have? And yeah, there's stuff about me, right? I'm still, I try to flex a little bit, but there's not really much there to flex. Right. Right. So like, it's still there. Like vanity's still there, but it's like 95% value, man. Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole reason we created this podcast, you know, like, we want to interview people that are doing well in the industry, and hopefully other people, realtors, lenders, whoever that may be struggling or maybe new to the industry, they hear these stories, right? Like you said, you know, you had a rough first 8 months, and what people like you are doing to help whoever's watching this, you know. If we get business out of it, it's great, but you know, that's not really the goal. The goal is just to put these videos out, and hopefully whoever's watching them can get some good tips and insights on what's working for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's hand in hand with value, man. So yeah, I really like that.
And then you have your own podcast, right? We were just talking about your podcast that I think you have a bunch of episodes. I'm not there yet. I think this is maybe 14, but you said 50 or 60 almost, right?
Yeah, man. So actually we changed it to the Cedeno experience. Mm-hmm. Before it was process to purpose. So it's kind of like just documenting what the process looked like. Right. I need to get back to it. It hasn't been a focus lately. Right. I think in the last year I have 3 episodes out. Right. So just getting back to it, man, but focusing, I'm gonna focus on one thing at a time. For a while it was Instagram. Now I'm focusing on YouTube. And then I'm going to be able to bring it all together with the podcast. So
nice.
Hopefully I'll get back to it.
How hard was it to start that podcast? And do you recommend it for people to maybe start one?
Yeah.
Maybe is that later on down the line when you kind of going already and you have a little more experience in the industry, or something that maybe somebody should start right away and just start talking?
I'm a big believer in just getting going. Yeah. Right. If you wait for the perfect time, that time sometimes never going to come for you.
That's true.
So it's just doing it now and figuring it out. My first podcast, I kid you not, I had a phone leaning on my iPad facing me, so the angle is right here. Yeah. I'm a big boy. That's not a good angle. And I had my my Beats on, right? And it was with the wire. It was like a red wire. It was so ugly,
right?
And I was just talking, and it was a Facebook Live. So I was like going back and forth with people on Facebook Live, and
right?
People were like, maybe you should cut it out, like not like cut the questions, the back and forth. And
right.
But I just said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna overcommit, and I'm gonna figure out the rest later. That's kind of how I live my whole life, man. It drives my wife
That's
crazy.
A good way to look at things. Let's talk about the market for a little bit.
Yeah, man.
So a lot of agents are worried right now, right? I mean, I've even seen people that are getting out of the industry already, right?
Yeah.
Because of what's going on. I think you said you got in the industry in 2017, you said?
2017, and I started producing 2018. Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of your first cycle, right? Where it's like you're seeing this downturn. What are you doing in this market right now? What are you telling clients that are kind of scared to make a move, and kind of giving them that confidence that right now is still a good time to buy or sell?
Yeah, I think it's just educating people, right? A lot of these people, they've been trying to get into a home for months, maybe even years, right? Because we went through that boom where you would get 50 offers,
right?
30 offers, and some people did not have a chance, right? FHA offer, I'm sorry, we're gonna put it over here. That's just the truth, right? So for the consumer, it was tough, and now we have these high interest rates. Yeah, that's not ideal. Right. But what we got to educate is like, hey, do you need to get into a home? Do you want to get into a home? And if so, think of three things. And this is what I tell everybody. Can you afford the payment? If that's yes, great. That's one check, right? Are you okay with the location? Yes, great, perfect. And do you have a solid job?
Yeah.
Right. If all those three are yes, what are you waiting for? Right. I know I've seen this meme and it's kind of cheesy, and maybe I shouldn't even say it, but it's like, hey, like 7% interest or 100% when you're renting, right? So yeah, that's like a kind of a cop out for agents to say, oh, if you're renting, that's 100% interest. Right. Some people are going to rent. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But just educating the men, and if it's the time, it's the time. There's been people who wait on the sidelines 15, 17 years, and then you hear, I should have bought 17 years ago.
Right.
I should have bought 12 years ago. I should have bought 6 of them.
It's funny. I mean, I used to be that same person, before I used to stay in these luxury apartments, and it's like, oh, I feel like I'm living in a resort. Well, I don't want to buy whatever place, just to own it or whatever. And then finally got convinced to do it, and I did it, and I was like, why didn't I do this so much earlier? I was like paying these super high rents, and it just at the end of the day, it's just like you leave there, but you leave with nothing. You just
that's it.
That's it. You're done. It's not like you don't own it. It's just a memory at that point.
That's it. I always think about it like 2 buckets, right? We have one bucket that's when you own the home and you're putting money into there because you're paying your mortgage, right? And that bucket over time will accumulate, right? And then now you have another bucket when you're renting. And that bucket, the only bad thing, it has a hole in the bottom.
Yeah.
And now guess who's picking up that money? Is the landlord. Right. And some people are okay with that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think home ownership's for everybody.
Right.
But I think it's a great idea for most.
Right. Makes sense. Would you say that we're now in a buyer's market with the way prices are dropping pretty quick, the interest keeps raising, or is there still some benefit for sellers to list right now?
Yeah, I think it's both right now. I think it's a great opportunity for buyers to get in that haven't been able to get in, and they're able to negotiate a lot better than they could before. Before it was like, hey, I'm going to give up everything, we'll remove all contingencies, I'm not even going to inspect the home, which I think is stupid.
Right.
Which is, I want the house. And now it's like,
at all costs.
Yeah, at all costs. Yeah, here, my firstborn child, everything. And now the opportunity is there for buyers to say, hey, you know what? I want some closing costs. I need help a little bit.
Right.
Help me out. I'm gonna give you a decent price, but I'm gonna get some closing costs, or I'm gonna do a rate buy down. I'm gonna do a 2-1 buy down. Different type of creative ways to get into the home. And now you have the opportunity. Now, if they got repairs, instead of the agent being like, screw you, we're gonna put it back on the market, it's gonna sell. Now it's like, and I just sent a request for repairs, man. It was nuts, and it would even hurt my stomach just writing it up because we said repair everything.
Right.
My client's like, I don't care if we fall out. I don't care. I'll buy another house. And I'm like, all right. So we send it in, and they're still kind of like they haven't got back to me yet because it was crazy.
They're thinking about it.
Yeah. So and then for sellers, the prices are still up there, right? Like for sellers, I think still a good time. We had a conversation with somebody in Watts today, and I said, hey, the market's down about 8-10% right now. Like we were at the top. Who knows if it's going to go down anymore? Why not take advantage and sell now?
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, we're down 10%, but what is it up compared to maybe before the pandemic? You know,
Exactly.
probably up 30-40%. So
yeah, it's insane.
And speaking about sellers, you know, I feel like some were kind of kicking themselves, right? They're like, why didn't I sell like, you know, 6 months ago? Why didn't I sell last year?
Yeah.
And are you getting that? Are you hearing that a lot? And are people still deciding to go ahead and sell anyways? Or what are you telling them to kind of, to make them understand that this is still like a good time to sell?
Yeah, so what I'm gaining right now is not so many people like, oh, I wish I would have sold back then, but what I'm gaining more of is unrealistic sellers. Right. So we're having these conversations with people, and it's like, hey, looking at the numbers, we're like at 650, 680, and they're like, my house can sell at 750 because that house in March sold for 720. So
right.
That was in March, and it sold for 720, and your house is not as nice as that one. I'm sorry. So it's just setting the right expectations with them. You know, is it the right time? Some people, they need to sell. Right?
Yeah.
And then what I have seen also is people selling and then renting for a while and kind of seeing what the market does.
Right.
Not a terrible idea.
Yeah, actually, another realtor that I work with, he did that with his own house, and and he timed it perfect because I think he sold it like the end of last year, and he knew this was coming, so he's like, I'm just gonna rent for a year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
so now, I mean, now it seems like it was a good idea.
Yeah. So people are doing that. We're having more and more of those conversations.
And then on the buyer side, I mean, people are specifically like worried about rates, right? Do you see them that they're going to keep going up? And how can like maybe realtors out there that are struggling with that hurdle get over that?
Yeah, I think those high rates are going to stay for a while. You think about it, they're not as high as they used to be before, right? Like we're still a pretty, well, now we're a little higher than average. What we've seen in the pandemic was unreal. Like that was just, we hadn't seen it in the twos, like that was not real. That wasn't a real market. So now we are, and it's just, again, by educating the clients and you know, it's going to be a hurdle for a lot of agents. And he said that a lot of people are already leaving the industry.
Yeah.
I talked to my team, man, and I'm like, hey, I believe 25% of realtors will be gone by January 1st.
Right.
Like, so there's 9 of us here, so that means 2 of you guys will not make it.
Right.
Don't let it be you. Right. So, I mean, hope that answered the question, but yeah. I got a little off track on that one.
No, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, because, I mean, a lot of what I'm telling people is like, you know, the rates might not stay here. They might stay here for a while, but they could go back down. You could always refinance, but at least you're locking in a price now, you know?
That's it. Yeah, and locking in a house, right?
Yeah.
Those people, they couldn't even do that.
Right.
So now it's going to, like, if, let's say the rates do drop to that super low amount, hey, you refinance, now you have a really low payment.
Right.
So, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your team. You were bringing up that, you know, you kind of started on your own. Now you said 9 people on your team?
Yeah, there's 9 of us, yeah.
So how are you recruiting agents? How are you said you're the team leader there, so how is that whole process going and what's the goal with the team? So
we're learning right now, man. It's been a crazy process of learning how to be a good leader, how to be a team leader. I want to come out of production realistically. Like, I don't get this like, yes, we closed the house, we help, you know, yes, I love helping my clients, giving the keys, amazing,
right,
but it's just not what really drives me. I coached high school football for 5 years.
Okay.
And that's like my passion. So I want to teach other realtors how to be successful.
What position, by the way?
Offensive line.
Cool. I played offensive line in high school too. That's why we're kind of the same build.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get out of high school, you keep eating, you're not working out anymore, you know? So, yeah, man, I coached freshman for 1 year, and then I did varsity for 4 years. And I was super young when I did it.
Awesome.
So I wasn't really in the right mind to be a coach. Now I'm a little bit older, you know, I got a little bit more wisdom.
Right.
So that's really what I want to focus on, is coaching these realtors, coaching these people how to build a business. And I'm also learning on the way. I don't have it all figured out. So just teaching them how to get after it, man, because, you know, with being a realtor, you think you have this freedom to schedule, but really, like, it's a lot more work than people think.
For sure. Realtors are busy people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, well, when I try to get a hold of somebody, or you know, our sales team is making cold calls, or it's hard even to get people to talk to you for a few minutes because everybody's busy, you know?
Yeah. So, no, you are. And so teaching them, and most of the people I've recruited have come from Instagram.
Okay.
And it wasn't really a recruiting. They hit me up. They're like, hey, man, we're looking for a change. Can we join your team? And I was kind of just accepting people as they came.
Right.
But now we're doing a lot better of setting systems in place to be like, hey, is this really going to be it? Instead of just saying, yeah, man, come join the team. I like you. So it's just getting better, man, actually building the business where we're going to help a lot of people. So I provide the leads for our team. All the leads come from my Instagram, which is, I'm not paying for them.
Right.
So I'm not really coming out of pocket for the leads.
Right.
But I'm training them how to talk to the leads from Instagram, how to convert them.
And maybe training them on how to build their own pages as well, right?
Yep. And that's what some people do. They just come and they want to learn. And like, we have one guy, his name's Ishmael. He came in, man, and he had done no deals for like a year and a half. Okay. I think he helped like his aunt at the very beginning. And then he did 2 leases, hadn't done anything else. Dude comes in, I gave him a pre-approved buyer, has his first closing. And then he has 4 closings in 1 month.
Wow.
Yeah, and then this month he's closed 2 already. Yeah. And it's just like, he just took what we're teaching him, he's applied it, and he's gotten his own clients. He got clients from TikTok. They sold their house, he found a buyer for their house, and then he helped those sellers buy a house.
Nice.
So all in
like
all,
triple-ended.
it's like a triple end, man.
Yeah.
You actually did photos for him.
Yeah,
the one in Pico Rivera. So he helped the buyer and seller for that one, and then helped those people, buy a house.
We did the escrow on that deal as well.
Yeah, man. So that's the power of social media. The daughter called Ishmael. So the daughter contacted him from TikTok.
From TikTok.
Yeah. Wow. So if you don't think people are on TikTok that you need to like be focusing on, they're there.
Yeah.
And he's getting a ton of business from his own TikTok.
I need to get on it, man. Down to TikTok.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I'm not trying to catch him up, man. I'm gonna get all mad.
Yeah.
He's like at 9,000 followers, something like that.
Wow.
He's like, I had 1,400 from last night. And I'm like, bro, what the heck? He's like, from one video. He's like, I thought you were gonna catch me, and I'm like, bro, I'm really like at 3,500.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, man, it's a lot of fun.
That's cool. And then my last question is just, what's next for you? And tell us what plans you have coming up, and where can people get a hold of you and find you online?
Yeah, so plans, man. Like we got huge goals. Like we don't want to just be known as the realtors on Instagram. We want to be realtors. Hey, they're on TikTok, they're on YouTube, they're everywhere. So we really want to dominate the digital space. And I know saying that's easy, and it's going to be harder than we probably think it's going to be, but it's exciting, man, to really claim like, hey, we're the #1 team on digital.
Right.
And like, my heart just dropped thinking about it. It's like, hey, is that possible? Absolutely. Right. The only person or the only people that can get in our way is ourselves.
Right.
So the only people that's stopping us from getting there is us. It doesn't matter what happens in the market. It doesn't matter if interest rates hit 10. There's still people who are going to buy and sell real estate.
Exactly.
And we need to capture
in
them.
any market. Yeah.
In any market. Right. So I'm excited for what's coming. If the market, were to go a little wild, and we have that big crash that everyone thinks is coming. I don't know if it is or not. Right. But if it comes, I'm excited for it. Right. Because I'm in a position where I'm highly under leveraged, and we're gonna get after it no matter what.
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So best place to reach me would be Instagram, really.
Okay.
So Instagram, TikTok, or you can text me to my number 626-283-7800. If you're a realtor, you want to expand your business on social, I can help you.
That's awesome. And what areas do you kind of focus on? Do you have a specific area? I see that you're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, so that's like the thing we really want to do. So on my YouTube, I'm trying to like go for SoCal Cedeno. So we really want to focus on Southern California before we expand. But we serve LA County, Riverside, and San Bernardino. We have an agent in the OC, don't do too much OC stuff yet.
Okay.
So I got to get him going in the OC.
Yeah.
He's slacking.
Yeah.
He's actually doing a really good job of calling people, but he's having to come over here. He lives in Fullerton, and then go to like San Gabriel Valley, and then Riverside and San Bernardino County.
It's a good area to take over.
Yeah, man, and that's where the business is going. San Gabriel Valley, LA County is kind of tough.
Yeah.
I'm Hispanic. A lot of Hispanic people are moving out here, so it's easy. People want to work with people they like and they feel like they trust. So. Yeah, man, we wanted to do a whole SoCal takeover first, and then kind of see where it goes from there. So
I'm excited to see it, man. I'll keep following your guys' journey.
Yeah,
you guys are doing a good job so far. So if you want to see how it's done on social, you got to follow this guy. What did you say your page was again?
It's so on Instagram, I'm Robert Cedeno.
Okay.
And then, or you can just type in Robert Cedeno, Cedeno. And then TikTok, I believe it's Bear Cedeno, and then YouTube, Robert Cedeno. SoCal Cedeno.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for doing this. I really appreciate you coming down here.
Absolutely, man.
Quick shout out to Casa Bloom Studios. Thanks again for letting us use this space here. If you're a realtor, you work in an office, and you want to do a lunch and learn or any kind of training, this is a cool spot right here in downtown Santa Ana. So give them a follow. They're Casa Bloom Studios. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel so we can continue doing these things. Thanks again for watching, and thanks again, Robert, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
You got it, bro. Let's blow it up, man.